Well, hello everybody. This is Louise Eddington from Utah for Bernie Sanders. And today I have with me Darin Mann of the Utah Progressive Coalition of Utah, UPCU. And Darin is running for State House Representative for District 24. Oh, it was 24. So, Darin, nice to have you here. And so first of all, tell me a little bit about why you're running. What got you into this?
Well, I'm running because, I've worked in the community for, mentoring children in foster care. I'm a boxing coach who helps people who have Parkinson's disease. And I've really looked around as knocking doors for Bernie Sanders. I volunteered with you side by side. That there's a lot of people that have been disenfranchised in politics, and they have lost hope. And I feel it's because they don't feel like they're represented. So I wanted to bring forth a new voice and a new perspective who was, I guess, outside of the political forum, but very much involved. I watched what was going on and reading about what was happening in our political arena here in Utah. But I and many others decided it was time for us to step up and represent people who just didn't have a voice up there on the hill.
Yeah. In fact, I was one of the representatives, wasn't I? But I've decided to support my opposition because he thinks the same as I do. So let's talk about the issues a bit. Which issues are most important to you?
Well, definitely following the trend of Bernie Sanders' campaign is campaign finance reform. I believe that we need to have our politicians accountable to the people and the people alone. So if we run people-funded campaigns, I think we'll see a metamorphosis in what kind of candidates we get. We'll start to get candidates who are running for genuine reasons, and they don't just have the ability to candor to people who will just throw money at their campaign. They'll more be public servants who really want to do what's right for their community. And I think it's all rooted in how we fund our campaigns. And so that's very important to me.
Oh, for me too. And green issues are very important to me as well. And I believe that's one of the platforms that you're running on as well.
Yes. As a member of the younger generation, the future that we are inheriting is looking pretty bleak if we don't address our clean air, trying to clean up our air. Here in the state of Utah, we have a very big smog problem, and we really need to address that by addressing our building codes and seeing if we can create more efficient buildings that cause less strain on the environment, and really looking into new alternative sources of energy, and really getting away from fossil fuels, because we can have a brighter future. It is there. We have the innovation. We just have to have the courage to go out there and grab it. And we can only do that together. So that's why I helped found this coalition, because we need unity.
Yeah. Now, Darin has a Facebook page, by the way, where he talks about some of his other issues. So I don't want to go through them all in this interview. You can find out more about him. What's the name of your Facebook page?
Darin Mann for State House Representative.
Yeah, just checking the details. I couldn't remember the exact way.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about the group, the coalition, as well.
Well, we are a group of, I guess you could say, Bernie-crats. We have a lot of us met, knocking doors, met on the grassroots level, trying to, really start the revolution from the ground up. And we're all very passionate about the message that Bernie is bringing. And we want to, as he says, you have to build it from the ground up. So we decided, hey, let's get some voices in there that will represent their people, and really connect the people who are already established inside our government to those that are out on the streets, our waiters, our stay-at-home moms, our writers, boxing coaches, things like that. And so that we can... Yeah, exactly. So we can have representation in all forms and really start to grow democracy here in Utah, because right now it's a very small group of people that are making our decisions for us, and we need to open up democracy to everybody, and we finally have technology that can do that. So that is one thing I will push as a legislature, to make voting more accessible through the avenues of technology and whatnot, so we can really have a democratic society that we all want.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Now, there has been a little bit of grumbling and resistance within the Utah State Democratic Party. Now, my feeling is that things maybe got off on the wrong foot, and that people don't really, they were taken by surprise and they don't really understand what this is about. And a couple of candidates, including you, are running against Democratic incumbents. So what would you say to those people about that?
Well, it's not a personal attack or anything on the current incumbent. It's just, I see in my district that I live in, a lot of people who are not involved in the political process, and I think it's because they don't have a candidate who invigorates them and will keep them involved. And I think by allowing new voices to get into these positions, we can keep galvanizing people and keep them motivated to stay active in the democratic process. And then also people who have proven themselves, who have been vetted in the political process, like my esteemed opponent, Rebecca Chavez-Hook, they can move further, and we can push them to greater levels of political office, instead of having one person stay in a position for, the 8 years or 12 years or however long.
Or a lot longer for some of them.
Yes, we can have new perspectives, and also encourage those other members to seek higher levels of office, because their voices should continue to fight the battles that they've been fighting for.
I agree. And there's a few of you running, and even if, this election, 2016, some of you may not win, but it's a start of a movement, I believe, isn't it, to keep going forward. This is not, this is not just a fly-by-night, I'm going to run this year and that's it.
Yeah, definitely not. And as a matter of fact, we have been trying to reach out to all the Democratic candidates and seeing if they can join our movement, so that we can really get a lot of traction and show all of the people who haven't been involved in the process that both those who have fought these battles are willing to join and start to grow this movement and make it something quite beautiful that can build a bright future. The only way we can do that is together. So we just got to stop these divisive arguments and move forward together, essentially. So,
and I hope they'll listen to this, because I think they were taken by surprise, and I think there's a lot of fear about what's going on. so I wanted
there was some plot to find what was going on, which is definitely not the case. It's just people who want to be heard, want to be listened to, and help their community.
Yeah. And people have been so inspired by Bernie Sanders' message. It's whether you vote for him or not, he has brought a lot of new people back into politics again, and to being interested in it. So is there anything else you'd like to talk about while we're on? They could find you at your website for you.
Yeah, you could find me on my Facebook page, Darin Mann. It's a political Facebook page. And then you could also go to upcutah.com to check out what UPC is about, because we're just an organization that wants to change the way politics is perceived and open it up to everybody, and not just a select few group of people. We want true democracy to reign, and because everybody's voice matters. Nobody's voice is more important than the others, and that's what UPC really stands for, is bringing everybody together, like Bernie has been calling for. We want to be that movement that he's calling for. We want to help, grow it. So,
and ultimately, I would hope to bring balance into Utah.
Exactly, because we don't have balance, right? We have 12 voices for the Democratic Party. in the House versus 63, and it's just not
Yeah.
it's just not sufficient right now. So UPCU really wants to build that balance and help grow the Democratic Party and work towards a level playing field for all people.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Darin. We're not going to go on much longer because people can find out more about you. But I just wanted to give you the chance for people to see your face and to hear you saying what you're about. So thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity. And, I'll speak anytime I can. And yeah, thank you, Louise.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.